Hello and welcome to my channel on human design, a channel that at the moment is receiving all kinds of viewer questions on human design and about themselves, which is helpful for a lot of people that watch it. So let us begin with the first one from Edward. Long-time viewer here, Richard, love your videos. I finally decided to ask a question after lurking for a while. I feel like I have struggled with my career all my life. I pursued film directing for a long while and found little success. I love telling stories, but being in an industry that's centered on recognition proved overwhelming and exhausting. What appeared to be correct invitations and recognition didn't end up working out. I've always been good at recognizing, but rarely feel recognized, which has just increased my sense of isolation and bitterness. After discovering human design a few years ago, something shifted, and I feel deeply drawn to it. It feels like this is something that I intuitively understand, something that naturally fits. I've wondered whether it's worth pursuing guiding others with it. Guiding is a kind of directing, but somehow feels more aligned. I also feel compelled to write a book, but previous struggles as a filmmaker have discouraged me from this. With this single channel, 1156 and no G center and no inner authority, it's hard to find purpose now. Any hints on how I can navigate this challenging transition and find a career that suits my design and natural projector recognition? Thank you, Edward. Well, Edward, that's I like the way that you've moved. I would have also thought about film directing due to the 1156 and your natural storytelling, and also writing a book in the way that you kind of see things in a moving narrative. And of course you write stories with the characters that go through different things. So it hasn't worked out because basically you're right, you've got to get through the guardians, you've got to know the right people to really make it big. When I look at your chart, what I see is someone who is basically here to express their ideas, and you want to be around people who are attuned to your ideas. The 11 in the first gate tells us that. We see that the voice is unconscious as a storyteller, so it just kind of comes out of you. And bearing in mind that you've got the right arrow 3 times, it's kind of, you're just taking it all in. You're taking it all in, and the story is coming through you. The 33rd gate, the gate of revelation, the gate of retreat, the gate of privacy, is there twice. And the 62 line 6 is there. Now the 62 line 6 contains with it in a secret for money, in the sense that the material success of the expression of the 62nd gate in the details will depend upon the details. And the detriment is, I can't be bothered to put the details in. So details become more important. And yet at the same time, you're a mental projector with no motors. I don't want you working hard. I don't want you under a lot of stress. Your environment is narrow valleys, so you're here to have a sound in the environment around you. Your sun is in the 28th gate, which tells us that your life is fulfilled through relating and relationships and people and your connections with them. And I don't want you wandering around feeling a bitter, unrecognized projector, and neither do you. So what is the answer? Well, the answer is an unfoldment, and it's based on something that will take into account that there are no fixed motors. It will take into the account the triple rightness of you in taking everything in. It will take into account your inner vision cognition. And this is a kind of a vision you see with closed eyes. You can see the movement. Things appear before you in the mind's eye. And what is coming, in fact, what you're right in the middle, or what you're beginning to really get your teeth into in terms of a cycle, is the Uranus opposition. This brings in the right angle cross of Eden in the 3-5 profile. And it contains educational channels of the 1222 and the 3635. So there you are wandering around, and you can indeed, part of the detriment in your design is you can wander around and no one's really interested in your stories. But if we take in the right angle cross of Eden in the 12th gate, which is the lead gate, the personality gate in the cycle, then this is about art. And when we look at your design, we see with the 1156 and the 33, it's very much about the past, what happened, the stories of what happened, the revelations from the past, what was remembered, what was forgotten. And one of the things that this could tie together in you as part of your fixed definition would be to look at art from the past and include the details, for God's sake. That's where you're going to make the money. Include the symbols that are appropriate with the colors that you're using, or whatever it may be, the implements, whatever it may be, the rugs, I don't know. And it's not necessarily that you will be doing it all, but you can manage the energy of others who can and guide them. Think about it, you know, the creation of art based on the past, or maybe even helping people to make things themselves based on things from the past that are missing in the current age, which would add to it in some way. You're here with the motivation of hope, to bring hope to the people. It's one of the gifts of the 56, to bring hope, or bring, you know, a lot of trouble. But it is about, you know, the wanderer that wanders and tells the stories and engages the people. So one of the things I would think about, since you are going to be thinking, is what that would be for you. What kind of art are you interested in? It's correct that you're interested in film, but what other things? What are things that could be made in a symbolic form that would be beautiful and would awaken some of the memories out there that people could give as gifts or have in their home in some way, something really dramatic that goes with your mind? So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the Uranus cross. The cross of Eden is returning to paradise, bringing paradise back in the artifacts that you find or create, drawing attention to them and the details of them. But you've got to be interested in it. It's got to be of interest to you, something that you want to bring to other people and for them to be able to see it. Your incarnation cross of alignment is there to align to the unexpected. So I suspect you will be wandering around a little bit, taking in things. You've got an active body. It's the only active arrow that you've got in you. So perhaps, you know, a little bit of travel to different places where there may be artifacts or different things that are beautiful and of interest, and something that perhaps could be recreated by people in groups, that they come together to learn, and you tell them the stories behind where you got them, or where you saw them, or what they were used for, or what they still can be used for today. So there's just a few thoughts for you to ponder. And again, a question like this is really best answered in a session where I can work directly with you, and we can talk about what's coming through for you. But I've done my best, and I hope that was helpful. Thank you for the question, Edward. And our next question from Tanya is more of a mechanical question, but intriguing nonetheless. Here's her question. This is an extract from Rave Psychology by Ra. And Tanya quotes this to begin her question. What I want you to grasp is something very interesting. Where you have definition, you don't have to learn. And he goes on to say, you can also see that when you're down to the point where there's only one gate, you can see that this is an opportunity to close out a process. Very important. The single gates that are there, many people have single gates in open centers. The single gate that's there, that's the indication. Here's your closing theme. You can finally finish this off. Great quote from Ra. Thank you. Then the question. I have only one dormant gate, the 61 line 6, inner truth in the line of appeal. And it is my personality north node. I'm struggling to understand what my closing unresolved theme is, given that it is part of my nodal environment and therefore more about the road I'm traveling rather than a part of my true self. What am I here to learn this time around in relation to this placement? Am I here to observe those trying to mutate the collective with their inner knowing, or am I here to mutate the collective? Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Well, that's an interesting question. Thank you, Tanya. And it's something for all viewers to think about too. You know, if you have an open center with a single gate, you better find out what the line is and ponder it as she's doing. So what can it mean being part of the North Node? Well, so the North Node, yes, it is the road, but it is also something that you're going to be living through. So it has this, it doesn't have a planetary quality to it, but it is something that you are going to be picking up on, in this case, the inspiration, and the right kind of inspiration. So it's inner truth, but it is only inner truth that can be used to lure the public to this truth. In other words, it's really got to be something that is appealing to them because it helps them deal with whatever it is they're going through. And when we look at the other side of the North Node, we see the 60 line 5. So this is dealing with dealing with restrictions and limitations. So when we look closely into the line and we think about it, we think about, well, it's a profound attunement to the collectivity. In other words, what can people understand? It's bringing to them something that they can understand. It's bringing something that can help them to cope with their lives in some way, because you know what their lives are. I mean, after all, you, with that logical mind of yours, you know, you and with being a quad right, you're taking it in, you're taking it all in anyway. So you can really get to understand the where people are at, you know, what they're thinking about, where they're trying to get to, what's confusing for them, and all the rest of it. That combined with your 56 twice, which can at its best be very good at attracting attention to certain things, may also be something that you bring out to teach people. You've got to get a very good instructor nature with the 1762. You can really be very precise in the point that you make. At the same time, the 56 will want to tell a story, will want to bring in the animation, bring in the feeling. So that's what's going on there. We've got the Queen Gate. So again, gathering people together for a material and practical end. You've got to include all the things that can come through you, the penetrating awareness in the now through the 5720. The bringing the new, aligning to the new in the channel of mutation. So exactly what it is, I really can't say. It's something that you get to meet along the road in the North Node. I suspect it'll be something that you can express through your scientific, logical mind, you know, bringing in all the individuality and the prima donna twice in Pluto, and the gathering of people together for a material end and practical end in the 45. There's so many different ways you can express yourself and you can be in this life. I can't tell you what it is. What I can say is it's to be able to bring it out if it's just, if there's a point to it, if you are aligned profoundly to the collectivity of the people, and then you know when is the right time to bring it out. If I was to put it another way, it would be like tracking the wisdom that the people can accept and integrate into their lives. Perhaps because they need to, perhaps because there are hard times coming and they'll be more open to it. But basically, to finish it off, it's not like you have to try to finish it off. It's like just watch it go. There are times when people will be closed to esoteric information. You know, it may not be such a popular thing in the future. I don't know. Not that that should worry you. I mean, you are a 3-5. You are here to be the heretic. You are here as the cross of laws to fulfill your life through form in some way. So I'd be thinking about form, something that can be shown, something that can be worn, perhaps. I don't know. But I would say, let it come to you, wait for the response, and realize at the end of the day, you're going to let it go. I mean, that's rather beautiful in a way. In the end, you attract attention to an esoteric truth, a mystery that is really going to be taken up by the people and benefit to them. And then you don't have to think about it again anymore. But you're going to have to respond to the ones that are for you to bring out, to attract attention, because you are very powerful. You are very mutative. When you say, do I mutate them? You mutate people all the time. You're walking around with all this individual energy and a way to attract attention in the most unusual and exciting way. So you've got that in you. But what it is, I don't know. I cannot say. But I would be thinking, because of your 56, I'd be thinking about it in terms of some kind of form, something that can be put into form, something that can be seen in forms, something that can affect people because of its form, maybe frequencies of some sort, colors of some sort. You know, I cannot really say exactly what it is, but you're going to mutate them anyway. And I wouldn't think too much about it. I wouldn't get lost up there thinking, what the hell could it be? It's going to meet you on the way. You're going to see it. And you're going to know it's the thing because it's got a point. You know, it can be of benefit because you know what's going on with the people. So that's my response to that part of the question. The second part of your question was regarding the North Node in Capricorn, and Capricorns are supposed to be, you know, focused and goal-orientated, and going for it. And there you are as a quadruple right. I mean, how do you sort that one out? Well, I would simply say human design is not astrology. Okay, so if you want to take an astrological system and put it on human design and try to make it fit, you get what you get, which is like, what does it mean? So I don't think in that way. I think about it in the qualities of the gates and the lines and where they come from, which center they come from. And I interpret it according to human design, not according to astrology. And I would advise you to do the same thing, because after all, you are a quad right. There's no getting out of that. You're not here to turn yourself around and be a Capricorn in, I mean, I don't even know what that could even look like. So I would drop it. Don't worry about it. Just be entertained by living the life and see what comes out. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed my response to your question, and I wish you well with it. And if the viewers, if you've also enjoyed this, then please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back again very soon with something completely different. Bye for now.